Now, ahead of the two-day nationwide protest by the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) scheduled for February 27 and 28, 2024, the Joint Action Front (JAF) and the Coalition for Revolution (CORE) have staged a nationwide rally over the rising cost of living in the country. The civil society organizations described the event as protest rallies against the hardship and hunger caused by the economic policies of Bola Tinubu-led government. Our correspondent Chidi Igwe has more on the story.
With placards and solidarity songs, members of the Joint Action Front and the Coalition for Revolution marched from the office of the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) at Yaba to Maryland in Lagos. Leading the protesters, Secretary of the JAF, Abiodun Aremu, lamented the declining state of the economy and the cost of living crisis in the country. They also vowed to revolt if the NLC backs out of its planned strike actions slated for February 27th and 28th.
Today, our statement is simple, that our country can no longer go on with this band of fraudsters as rulers in our country, under the guise of the IMF policies of privatizations, of deregulation, of monetizations, of devaluations of our currency. We are today in a position to demand the restoration of our dignity.
Today's protest is to begin the national mass resistance against this government, but also to send a message to the leadership of the NLC and the TUC that we need them to provide leadership for the mass resistance and struggle of Nigerian people.
Other protesters lamented the inability of the Tinubu-led administration to run the economy and save an already bad situation.
We have seen the government tell us that they can no longer fund education, and with that we've seen an increase across public universities, across learning centers, increase in fees. Students can no longer go to school, parents can no longer fend for their children. We are here to reject every neoliberal policy that the government of the day is buying that has continued to put Nigerians under bondage. We can no longer continue like this.
Meanwhile, officers of the Nigerian police force commended the peaceful conduct of the rally.
The position of the police is very simple. They protested. In law, have the right to protest. But our own concern is that the protest must be peaceful. And that is why we are here, to make sure that it is not hijacked by troublemakers.
Meanwhile, the presidency and other stakeholders have warned the NLC against embarking on its two-day nationwide protest over the alleged government failure to implement agreements reached between both parties on October 2nd, 2023, following the removal of fuel subsidy. The NLC, however, says it remains resolute to hold peaceful protests come Tuesday and Wednesday. Chidi Igwe, TV360 News, Lagos.